Can you hear me now? I'm working on it. Testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes, you can hear me now. Very odd. I apologize. If you're watching later, I'll try to edit that out. What a mess. I did everything the same as I do all the time. So my apologies. You want me to start all over again? Happy Saturday. My name's Michelle. I'm with Olive Two Ewe Studios. I'm here every Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. And the good news is if you show up live, you never know what's going to happen, right? So grateful that you all are here. Thank you for telling me that it wasn't working. I don't know why that happened exactly, but I think we're back now. So thank you for your patience. Yarny user here. I see Mary. I see Judy. Hi, Judy. I see Diane. I see Tish. Deb Phelps had a birthday yesterday. Everdina's here. Tara, Teri, Kim, all the people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So happy to have you all here and thankful that you've hung with me through this because we've got fun stuff to talk about today. I am so excited. I'm just going to come out of the gate with this. I'm so excited about the Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society. It's back. It's a little bit reimagined, a little bit tweaked, and I'm so excited about that. And one of the things that I am completely delighted about is that we've had so many people sign up even outside of the Yarny U's, which is really, really exciting. So the Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society is live right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll a little video so you can see a little bit about it, and then we will talk about it. So hang tight. And there it is. So what you saw there was a little bit of a video that we did last time the Literary Society was open, and to give you an idea of what it's all about. So this is a quarterly club. It's not a monthly subscription. It's quarterly. So it's 4 times a year, much easier to manage. And the way it works is you join the society, you get access to a private Facebook group. But let me just say, we'll be doing things in the private Facebook group, but that's not the meat of it. The meat of it is that we're going to do a Zoom book club, and I'll be providing discussion questions ahead of time. So as you read through the book, you can actually kind of have an idea of what we're going to be looking at in the book. So when we do the book club, you've got some things to talk about. So here's the thing about a book club. I'll be announcing the book way in advance, so you'll have all that information. And the cool thing is we're not providing the book, and here's why. You might like to read on your Kindle. You might like to read through Audible or, listen through Audible like I do. You might like to get the book from your library so you don't spend any money at all on the book. There are so many different ways that people access their reading material, or in my case, their listening material. And I don't want to tell you the way that you have to access that. And some of you may actually have a book already in your personal library. I doubt it because we're doing pretty current books with this, but I'm very, very excited about it because you get to choose the channel and the method that you want to read the book. And the books are all New York Times bestsellers or book club vetted books, fairly current. So hopefully you won't have read them, but if you have, you still have the ability to participate because why not? Plus you get cool things. Sherry and Teri are going to be dyeing up beautiful colorways, as you know that they do, based on the book or the themes of the book or specific things that they're going to be pulling out of the book to dye the yarn. So your yarn will fit in thematically. And then we're going to fill your box with all kinds of goodies. Now the goodies will be a range of things. Sometimes they will be stitching tools. Sometimes they will be little goodies that have some kind of hook with the book that we've been reading, or sometimes just sort of all about reading and being someone who enjoys reading. So there's a whole mix of things that will be included in your box each quarter. Now, if you're interested at all, there is a link down below in the show notes, or you can head over to our website. The link was also in the newsletter this morning. So you can see all of the details. There's dates there. There's information about when things are going to happen because it's a quarterly book club. So that means that you're not going to have things every single month being shipped to you. You'll get an idea of what the book is. We'll tell you the book, and then you can start reading it or listening to it in advance, however you want to access it. And then your box will come later and it'll all make sense and fit together. One of the really fun things about a book club, I think, is hearing others' perspectives on the book that we're reading, like about the themes and what's happening in the book. And I think it's so interesting. A good friend once said to me, when I'm in a book club, I don't necessarily expect to love every book because we all have different tastes, right? But reading a book that maybe you don't enjoy, or maybe you decide you don't like it midway through and you put it down, and that's fine too. But if you kind of get yourself through it, you learn more about yourself, what you do enjoy and what you don't enjoy. So the Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society, I just love that name, if I can just say that. I think that's so fun. Is open right now. Now, I am going to limit it for multiple reasons. I like things to be kind of intimate. So you do want to go ahead and sign up right away. You can either sign up for the quarterly subscription, which means you get billed once every 3 months, or you can pay in advance for the entire subscription and you get a little bit of a discount by doing that. I think it's 5% if you do that. And I know some of you have done both of those things. I've seen people who've done the quarterly subscription, and I've had others who have paid in advance for their subscription. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm tickled about it. It's super, super exciting. And I'm so glad that so many of you are excited about it as well. It's sort of a book club on your terms. So that's open and available today. Link down below, link in your newsletter. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, I highly recommend you do it. You never know what you're going to get. In fact, this week, our text subscribers got a special little discount this week. So if you're registered for text messages, you got that discount as well. So Tracy says she's not working nights anymore, so she'll be able to join the Zooms. That's exciting. Love it. And so many of you have already done that. So that's awesome. Next up this week is something else I'm really excited about, because Sherry and Teri are just continuing to absolutely knock it out of the park with their dyeing. So Good Vibrations made a debut in the shop this week, and look at those beachy shades, y'all. I love those blues. And what I love about this is you get the whole range of blues. You've got like these really deep colors. You've got kind of those softer teal shades that I love so much. And it is all punctuated with these beautiful oranges and golden tones. I'm going to open this up. That's always a challenge for me, because the question is, can I get it hanged back up and twisted back up? But I'm going to open it up so you can see the repeats on this. It is beautiful, 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 gorgeous colors. Kim's saying BBT. It would make a beautiful BBT for sure. Gorgeous colors. Look at those speckles. You've got those high def speckles accenting this blue, which is beautiful. Reminds me of the ocean and the sun and all of that. So let's see if she can do it again. Every week is a test. Isn't it gorgeous, Lorianne? I know. It's beautiful. Twist it again. I'm going to show you what it goes really well with as well. So the next color I'm going to show you is called Soak Up the Sun, inspired by the sun, and it's beautiful as well. It's a gorgeous tonal solid golden shade. Gorgeous. You're getting a pretty accurate picture there on the screen right now. You've got those lighter lemon colors all the way down to those deeper golden tones. That makes it really beautiful. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love tonal yarn because it has so much more depth than just a complete solid. You get really some interest there. So this was dyed to go with my poorly rehanked Good Vibrations, but there it is. And it looks fantastic together. but we're going to up the ante. If you've looked in your newsletter, you've seen we have also put it with Monarch because it goes perfectly with Monarch as well for a beautiful trio of colorways. Isn't that beautiful? Now, we've added some pattern suggestions in your newsletter this morning. So if you're loving this combo and you're like, but what can I stitch up with it? We got you covered. There you go. Look at those colors. See how those colors, those oranges and golden tones play against good vibration? It just really accents it. It reminds me of a very tropical beach, something really, really beautiful. I would not linger on this. I would go ahead and order it. Again, 2 devices, great idea on Saturday mornings. There you go. Beautiful colors. You don't want to miss out on these. I keep wanting to put the blue in the middle because I think you can really see how it shines next to those other colors right there. It's beautiful. You've got great pictures in your newsletter and on the website this morning. You don't want to miss out on that. And as I mentioned, we offered some great pattern suggestions to put these together. You can get it done before the end of summer, and then you can really enjoy wearing it. I love it. Judy says it's really beautiful. Definitely summer. It does. It really screams summer, doesn't it? It absolutely does. It is summer. It's a little chilly here. It was 67 in the house down below when I came up. That's why I'm wearing my dark water sweater. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes as well. But while we're talking about yarn, so many of you signed up for the BBT or Beautifully Basic Tee knit along. That starts August 9th. And we expect that you'll have your yarn in plenty of time to get it caked up so you can cast on for your BBT. I'm talking a lot. I need a drink. So you can look forward to that. You chose great, great colors for your Beautifully Basic tees. As I mentioned before, I will be doing at least one video every week because I'll be casting on a Beautifully Basic tee as well in Amber Solstice. I have that color up here somewhere. Let's see. Nope, I guess I don't. I took it over there for some reason. So I don't have it with me, but mine is going to be an Amber Solstice. I will be casting on as well. And my weekly videos are going to be talking about the pattern, talking about where I am in the pattern, and some techniques. It is a very, very simple pattern to do. There are no short rows. There is knitting in the round, knitting and purling, and then of course you have some ribbing, some really basic ribbing, and then you've got increases and decreases. You're going to split for the sleeves, and then it's really easy going social knitting. So a Beautifully Basic tee, as I've mentioned before, is a great staple to have in your wardrobe. If you missed out on getting a kit, I have some options for you. Number one, you can always stash dive for a kit. The rules of the knit along are simply that you need to use Olive Two Ewe yarn. You can grab that out of your stash, or you can order it from us. Either way works. We do have a fantastic prize. $100 gift card to the shop is going to be the grand prize in the Beautifully Basic tee knit along. So you definitely want to get in on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you missed out on the kits, no worries. All you need to do is email me. Tell me what colorway you want, what base you want, and how many hanks you want, and we'll set up a special order so you can get in on it. It might come a little later than the start. It might not. It just depends. They're pretty good about getting on those special orders as quickly as possible, but I can't make any guarantees, but we'll get it out to you as soon as possible. And the wonderful thing about knit alongs in the Yarn Use with Olive and Two Ewe Studios is that you don't have to have a finished object in order to be prize eligible. You can win and have just cast on. The thread is already available in the Yarn Use for this. And the reason I put it there is because I think it's a lot of fun to see the colorways that people are selecting for the knit along. So you can start out by just posting a picture of the color you're going to do. You can even take it off the website, just clip it off the website, use that picture if you ordered a kit and you don't have it yet, or if you're pulling something out of your stash, show us a picture. Tell us why you chose the colorway that you did, and let's start talking about it. The thread is available in the Yarn Use now. So super duper excited about the BBT cast on, mostly because I need to be knitting another BBT. So, and I get to do it with all of my friends in the Yarn Use. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm glad that so many of you have come along for that ride. So tomorrow's a big day. Anybody know why? Anybody know why? tomorrow is the very first day of the Fiberside Summer Yarn Crawl. So if you've ever participated in the Fiberside chats, you know what a fun group it is. We get to learn about new techniques and we get to learn about all sorts of things. But one of the neat things that they do during the summer is they sort of take a hiatus from their guests and they do a virtual yarn crawl. Y'all, I'm just saying, a yarn crawl in your jammies with something yummy to drink. Why not? Or on the beach or wherever you want to be for the day. The crawl goes through August. So it starts tomorrow in July, goes clear through a good part of August. And every Sunday, you'll be taken virtually to to a couple new yarn shops, typically to see what they have. Most of the shops are offering great discounts. That's fantastic. There are patterns associated with the crawl. There are prizes associated with the crawl. We're actually giving away 2 gift cards and 2 registrations for Fiberside chats right there in the crawl. I get to announce the winners just before my segment. And my segment is tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited about it. I hope that I see some Yarny U's there in the gallery on Zoom. It is a Zoom event, but it's very well organized, very well organized. All of the shops have done videos in advance to avoid glitches like what I had here today. So everybody had to record their video and submit it to make sure that everything technologically was copacetic and good. So you hopefully won't have those situations where you like get seasick because there's a camera roaming around a shop or something like that. Or like I said, like a sound glitch like we had here today. So I'm very, very excited about it. It starts tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And that gives everybody a chance to get home from their morning activities and get settled in and sit down with something yummy to drink or even a snack and get to tour some yarn shops. It's a lot of fun. The registration link is down below in the show notes and in your newsletter. You can register for that. It's $10. It's $10. And I promise you, if you buy just a few things, you're going to recoup your $10 really quickly. So that is, it's a great way to spend the summer. Who doesn't want to see more yarn? Even if you don't buy anything, who doesn't want to see more yarn? All right, Valera wants to see the 3 colors. So it's not 3 new colors, it's 2 new colors, putting with it a color that was dyed a few months back. So we've got Monarch is that beautiful orange. We've got Good Vibrations is this gorgeous blue. And then Soak Up the Sun is that beautiful golden color. And it coordinates perfectly with the speckles in the blue right there. Gorgeous. So I hope that helps, Valera. Beautiful socks right there. Available in almost all the bases, I think. Many of the bases. The most loved bases. Let me just put it like that. So, Kim says she's excited to about tomorrow. Me too. Let's see. Talk about how to know what colorways are possible for the special orders for Beautifully Basic Tees. Absolutely. If you love a colorway in the shop, just let us know what you like, and I can let you know whether it's currently being dyed or not. So absolutely, Rachel, just shoot me an email. We'll work it out together and make sure you get the perfect color that is in our current repertoire. Absolutely. So lots of different colors available there. So I want to talk for just a minute. We are going to get to whips and things. I don't know if you watched. If you're watching the Olive Two Ewe Facebook business page, you may have noticed that I made a little field trip to a farm this week. Did you see that? There is a gentleman in our church that has a small sort of a hobby farm. He's got a cow who is just adorable, the sweetest personality. He's got multiple goats and he has multiple sheep. So if you know anything about me, my poor husband does, he can't get me within, a mile of a petting zoo or animals or farm animals. And I don't love to just go up and talk to them and pet them if I can. I'm always like trying to sneak all the pets. So Peter and his wife, Christina, have this farm. We met them through church. He found out that I had a yarn company and he approached me a couple weeks ago and said, I have fleece. Are you interested? And I was like, well, yeah. So I asked him what sort of sheep he had, and he mentioned several breeds, one of which were Shetland sheep. And of course, all my spidey senses went off because you know how I love Scotland and all things sheepy and Shetland. So we went out to the farm the other day. We got to meet the sheep. Yes, I got to touch the sheep. He's got this adorable, super friendly sheep named Mary. we were making all the jokes. Mary had a little lamb. In this case, Mary was the little lamb. Anyway, I digress. So we got to pet the sheep and see all the animals and came home with a bunch of fleece. So I didn't know what to expect. I'm not a spinner, and I've never really handled a lot of raw fleece in terms of knowing like what even the terminology. I know you got to look at crimp. I know different breeds offer different sort of characteristics, but I had to ask him. I was a little embarrassed. I said at church when I said, yeah, absolutely. But I didn't want to get like, a dump truck full of fleece because I don't have the facility here to process a dump truck full of fleece. But he was so kind and generous, and I was so grateful. So I said to him, I was a little embarrassed. I said, so Peter, how much, like, what is this going to look like? And I was really apprehensive asking, but I did. And he said, oh, we'll have it in a 50-pound grain bag. And I was like, okay, that's great. He said, it'll be about 10 pounds of fleece in a 50-pound grain bag. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I walked away because I'm like, y'all, I just moved to Maine. I have not had a lot of experience with grain bags. I don't know what a 50-pound grain bag looks like, but I was so grateful. So a friend of mine said, it probably looks a lot like your 50-pound dog food bag. Well, we buy dog food in 40-pound bags. So I was like, okay, it's a little bigger than that. So we got there. He took us in this beautiful red barn, of course, iconic red barn, and that smelled very sheepy, but it was wonderful. And he calls Jim in and they start hauling out the bags of fleece. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So not just one 50-pound grain bag. So I finally had to say, this is wonderful. I'm so grateful. And I am, but that may be all I can take. So we put it in the back of the car and hauled it home, and it is waiting for Michelle to learn all the processing things. So I've already started researching, and I know somebody in the fiber world who I'm going to reach out to for help. I'm hoping to have her as a podcast guest in the future. And I'm going to do a little playing with the fleece. I'm not going to show it to you today. I might take some pictures this week and show you, but it will be making an appearance on a podcast coming to you in the near future. So that's one more thing I get to learn. How fun is that? But all the lanolin and seeing it, and of course it's got to be scoured, washed, carded, and all those things. So Deb Feltz is a very prolific spinner, and I know many of you also spin and do all the things with fleece. So I'll be looking to you for a little help, helping me out with all the fleecy things. But I thought that was just a lot of fun. It was a good time. All the things that I'm learning here in Maine, and it feels like the learning curve is definitely manageable, but I'm learning things all the time. I'll tell you something else I learned this week. You may have seen, I did a little live in the Yarn Use a few weeks ago. I was trying to get myself over to Good Karma Yarn and Soap, which I've been visited before. But I wanted to go over because they were advertising that Amy makes this bug soap. And they said, we haven't had to put like DEET or bug repellent on for 32 years. It works great. So I was like, okay, I'm all over that. But the day that I tried to go, they were closed. But I did make it down there this week, and I don't have the bar to show you because we've been using it. And some of you wanted to know if it did work. And it seems to, because the day that we went to the farm, Jim failed to wear socks. I was like, not a genius move. I love you, husband, but ticks. Every time we go by a wooded area up here, I'm like a third grader. I start singing ticky, 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 because, I'm thinking about all the ticks. And he didn't wear socks, but we had both used that soap that morning. And of course, black flies are out, and we were standing on the farm in the grass and stuff. Neither one of us had the first tick on us. Neither one of us had the first black fly on us. I think it was the soap. So if you were waiting, I know Katie was waiting and maybe some others to find out if it worked. Seems to, I can't guarantee it, but we are using it every single day. It's wonderful. It smells good. And I'll tell you a funny story about that soap. It obviously uses essential oils and things. One of the things that we did with the dogs when we got up here was get these, I think they're called Fur Life, but I couldn't swear to it. These dog pendants that they wear on their collar that are not chemicals, but it's essential oils. And you put it on them, and the ticks apparently don't like those particular smells. I think it has like eucalyptus in it. It might have peppermint. It's got some other things in it. Let me tell you, the first week when you put those on the dogs, woo, you're smelling the essential oils, but then it kind of wanes a little bit. It's manageable now. The soap smells a lot like that. I figured that out in the shower the other day. So I think it's that same sort of collection of essential oils. So it seems to work. So if you were interested in that, there you go. That is my experience with the Good Karma Yarn and Soap bug soap that Amy makes. I don't know. I'm like, do I need to take up soap making? No, she doesn't. She doesn't have the time to take up soap making, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So, all right, Teri says for life, hers works great. All right, great. Oh, Belinda, you've been to Good Karma Yarn and Soap. That's fantastic. They're very lovely there. They do a lot with sock cranking machines, and they dye some yarn, and they're right here in Bridgeton, Maine. So I love giving shouts out to other businesses. I just think that's the way it works. It's what you're supposed to do. Couple other things new in the shop that I want to mention to you, and then I'm going to roll into the WIP segment. So first of all, Ship Club. Several of you were asking about Ship Club. It is back and available right now. It will be available until July 15th, I think is the close date on it. If you order it, you're going to get a full year of free shipping. That counts on your subscriptions as well as your one-off purchases. Now, I heard through the grapevine this week that postal rates are going up as much as 51% for some levels of the post. So I didn't know that when I did the Ship Club, but I'm locking it in for you. So do the Ship Club. That way you can apply the code to all of your shipments, including your subscriptions and including one-off purchases. It covers pretty much everything for the contiguous United States. It's domestic shipping only, and you're covered for the entire year. You do need to use the email that you typically use when you make purchases to sign up, because that gets added to the list to make it valid. And when you sign up for it now, you get a free little download that you can print that has the code right on it that you can put wherever you want to help you remember. And in the next few weeks, I'll be sending you out a little sticker or a magnet or something as well that you can put close to your computer or on your computer if you use a laptop, or on the back of your phone. So anytime you make a purchase, you'll have that code clear. Now, one of the Yarn I Use reached out to me and said, you are making a download and like a magnet or a sticker because of me, aren't you? Because I always forget. I'm like, no. Did not do it for you, because it's hard to remember. And a lot of times people forget the code. So I thought it would just be easier to give you a little reminder as part of your Ship Club purchase so that you can get that, and so that you can put it wherever you want or whatever you want to do with it to make it convenient. So some of you have done it. I know you've been asking. Ship Club's available now. And it works on your Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society. If you're in the Socks You Sock Club, it'll work against that. I'll apply the code after you purchase it, so you will be good to go on that. So I wanted to mention that, and I thought we'd get right into it and see what's happening with WIPs, because y'all are doing some beautiful, beautiful things. So let's see what's going on there. All righty, dighty. Let's start off here. We've got a beautiful sock that's happening. Georgie was making a sock. She was using yarn that she received from the Bay Area Knitting Guild convention last year. She couldn't remember if it was last year or the year before. Really beautiful socks there. I love it. So she started the first sock and the second sock because she wants to make sure she's got enough yarn to work the pattern that she's doing. Next up, more socks from Tammy Smith. She kind of mixed Olive Two Ewe yarn with some other yarn, and I think she did a great job on those colorways. She's got one colorway for the body, one for the toes, and then one for the ribbing and the heels. So it looks so good. I love those colors together. All right, Luann Fulmer is working on her coup sweater still. I don't know the name of the pattern. I need to figure that out, but she's making good progress on that. She's going to be wearing it on our trip to Scotland. Next up, Tish is making this beautiful Scala scarf, and she's using the South Beach colorway on Rawlings. And you know, Rawlings offers you that beautiful drape, that little hint of sheen from the silk, and it is beautiful. She's doing a great job on that. Lonnie's been working on Knitmas in July by Nomadic Knits. She's using Olive Two Ewe minis, which is perfect. It's another great testimony for having minis in your stash. You can always play with them, pull them out, play with the colors to make just the project that you're looking to do sing with color. And she's doing a beautiful job with that. Good job, Lonnie. Next up, Lydia. took the advice of some Yarny Ewes and did some things a little differently with this particular sweater. She's finished it up. So Charlie's going to have another sweater. I think that's for Charlie. He's going to have another sweater for Scotland. And you know, that's one of the cool things about being in the Yarny Ewes is that everyone is so incredibly supportive. You can ask a question if you know you're not sure about something or you want to modify something. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to find people who know exactly what you should do or can help you find your way. I love that supportive nature of the Yarny Ewes. It's fantastic. Lonnie Holt, she finished her Marie Celtic Cabled Cow by Marley Bird. Looks really, really good. That's Olive Two Ewe yarn, those beautiful cables. I think I mentioned last week, this is a great example of how you can use sort of a tonal colorway, even with speckles, on something like cables or lace, and the cables or lace don't get lost in it. If you start mixing, you know, cables and lace with heavy speckles or variegated colorways, typically you're not going to get the bang for the buck that the designer intended for you. So it's always best to kind of think about the yarn that you're selecting in that way. And last but not least, Nancy Victorino, she said, all this talk about the summer BBT, she decided to finish off her summer knit along project from last year, which was the Wild Wind from Wool and Pine. She's using Rawlings and it's so pretty. So she is planning on casting on a BBT, but she wanted to kind of get going on this, which makes really perfect sense. And I want to mention, Lonnie posted some pictures either late last night or this morning, and I didn't get a chance to grab them for today's whips. I'll try to do that for next week, of her in progress project using the Snowpocalypse colorway that was a mystery colorway a few months back. And she has highlighted it with these beautiful red beads that are just the right color of red to highlight that colorway. So I'm going to try to grab that, Lonnie. It was just a little after the after I grabbed those photos for the whips, but it's so pretty. It's so stunning. I want to absolutely make sure that we get that added so people can see it. If you don't follow Lonnie or look in the Yarny Ewes, I think she posted it in the Yarny Ewes as well. You want to look at her profile or in the Yarny Ewes so you can see a great application of that Snowpocalypse colorway. So it was really, really, really good. All right, Scotland trip. So I talked to CIE Tours this week, and they're giving me a little more time, like till Monday or Tuesday, literally. I know I said before it was the last, and it was for my information, but we have a little bit more time to sneak 1 or 2 more people in to our Scotland trip, which happens in September. And part of what I had to do for the Yarn Crawl was put my video together. And one of the things that's in it is a little segment about Scotland. So I thought just for fun, I would show this to you as well. There is a QR code on here you can scan if you're interested in more information about the trip. You can always email me as well. Some of you may recognize yourselves on this video, but I'm going to roll this because I think it's fun. I love seeing that. It just makes me so happy. That was so much fun. So what you saw there was part of our trip to Kitchen Coups and Ewes, where we got to groom the Highland coos and kind of pet them and get out in the fields with them. And then what you didn't see was this fantastic farmhouse tea that we got to participate in later. And then the next one was just some photos of some of our travelers and some of the scenery that we had in Scotland. So if you're interested in that, you can shoot me an email, but literally like Monday or Tuesday is the last day. I can get you up to speed. We do have room for a couple more people. If you want to go, I can like push it a little bit and get you in. It's so much fun, and it's a lot of fun to travel with other Yarn-a-Use as well. So I wanted to give you that chance to see that because it's just so fun to see all the neat things that we get up to in Scotland. So a couple other quick notes. We have a new listing on the website. This is our debut of it, and it's called the Gift Shop. And what we're doing there is rotating some fun stock. Right now, it's got some bookish stock in it. So if you're interested in books, there's some cute little bags. There's some point protectors. There's some other kinds of things, some note cards and things if you are a book lover. So the link to that is in your newsletter this week as well. It's a lot of fun. And I know I was teasing some events about baseball, and I'm still working on getting that all together. We're organizing that. I'm telling you now, when it comes out, you don't want to miss it. And I've got some other plans for virtual events in the future. So if you're one of those who maybe in the past was like, oh, she's doing that at Needleworks, and I live in, 3 states away. Never fear. I've got some fantastic virtual events coming soon that will be done on Zoom. They're going to be so much fun, some of which are in collaboration with others, some of which are me on my own. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially the baseball one. I can't wait to get knee deep in that. That's sort of a collaboration with some good friends, and I'm excited about all the exciting things happening in the future. So last thoughts. Beautifully Basic Tea Knit Along. Let me know if you want to get a special order in, or go stash diving. That's always a really good idea. Or let's see, Beautifully Basic Tea, your kits will be out to you. And then, of course, the Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society, just since I've been on air today, I know some of you are signing up. You don't want to miss that. I actually had a yarn shop in California contact me about that, and they might be getting a group together to join us as well. So there's a lot of opportunity there and a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I will say I've started listening to the book because I need to do that in advance, but it's going to be good. It's a New York Times bestseller, our very first book, and I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, thank you so much for being here with me today. I had a lot of Yarn-a-Use show up. That's always great, but don't forget, you can always watch later at your leisure as well. I'm Michelle from Olive Two Ewe Studios, typically here every Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning. Do please give me a thumbs up. Somebody mentioned this week, you really can't, I think, give a thumbs up unless you're signed into your YouTube account. So you might want to sign into the account and then come back if you're not signed in right now and go back and give me thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. So Teri, who's one of our fantastic dyers, Sherry and Teri from Lonesome Pine Yarnworks, who dye exclusively for Olive Two Ewe. Teri's been with us this morning. So good to see you, Teri. And to the rest of you, thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the week. I'll see you in the Yarn-a-Use, and we'll have a great time. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.